Hi, I'm Tom Migot from Tom Migot Photography. This is a new episode of the Review It with Tom Migot series. The concept is very simple. You guys send me your exposures and I review them in the video and publish on YouTube. So this week you guys have been pretty good. You sent me 13 exposures, so let's have a look at what they are, and we've got a few new submitters as well, including I believe this is Scott. Yes, Scott H93. So it is an interesting shot, and as a matter of fact, I want to do this type of shots as well, because I've noticed I've got a skate park not far from my work, and definitely gonna have a go at it during a weekend, a sunny weekend. So what to say about this? Well, I quite like it. Definitely froze the moment. There is nothing else you can do here. Trying to do panning photography on this type of movement would be crazy and not very interesting, I would expect, because you want to freeze the action. I don't think you want to capture the movement. So, although I'd like to try it, but I like it. There's only a couple of things that I would have done on this, and I've tried it very quickly. Is, to me, the sky is a bit dull. There are clouds, but I would like to pump those blues, and also I think the rider needs a little bit of fill-in. So Scott, tell me what you think of that. First, I bring the blues, you see, and then I play with the shadows, and it's going to affect only the shadows, so it's just bringing a little bit more light. As you can see here on his face, at least you can see his face, because before, if I go back to the original one, it was a bit dark and the blue was a little bit grayish. So I don't know, tell me what you think. Put your comment under the video, and I'd like to think to see what you think about what I'm saying. Next one. This is another one from Scott, I believe. Yes. So at first, when I first looked at it like 5 minutes ago, I didn't know what to think, because it's not an angle that you would expect to see. Either you get half the car, or you would get a landscape, or you get the whole car. But here, well, not only it's a Mini, all right, this is a Mini Cooper, which is a tiny vehicle for those who don't know, because I don't think you guys have it in the US. But anyway, it's a tiny car, and not only it's tiny, but you cut it not by half, but even less than half. So what do I think of it? I think it's not bad. I think it's not bad. More importantly, what I like about it is that it could well be a commercial exposure. So why that? Well, because, as you can see, guys, Scott actually desaturated the background. You see, we have other vehicles at the back. I don't know whether it was a car show or a car park, but it desaturated the back here where it's grey, and everything about the car is in color. And interestingly, if you watch through the windshield across to the back window, the rear window, you can see the grass, and the grass is in color. And so to me, that means, like, you know, forget about the other cars. This car, with this car, you drive and see life in color. That's the message I get from this exposure, and you know how much I care about the message. Once again, my philosophy in photography is very simple. If your image does not say anything, then it's pointless. And here, well, it does say something. So, Scott, let me know what you think, once again, about what I've just said. But I think it's interesting. Clearly, it's not a Mini Cooper straight out of the factory. Well, now Mini is German. But looking at the wheels, clearly it's been pimped. But I like it. I like the blue. The blue is kicking, my friend. It really is. Comparing to the other one, you see, that's what I'm talking about. A blue is a strong color. You want something in here, it really pops. So I actually like it. Good job on this. and it was shot with 36mm. All right. Okay. Moving on. This is from Susie Tench. Well, the colors, right, I'll give you that. The landscape, well, it's not very interesting. Everything is about the cloud here, and which is fine. The cloud is interesting. The grass, clearly, you know what the saturation slider is, because I think the green, unless it's natural color, and then that's really good, which might actually be. And I think that's probably why you took the shot, because it looks like it was right after rain, and sometimes you've got, especially in the UK, you got rain and then you got a sunbeam, just like that one. There's only one, right, just popping through and just lit up whatever it can, and then it just disappears and rains again. Welcome to UK. So yes, the subject is not very interesting. But the combination of all is not bad. I would have hoped that somehow maybe, you know, those trees are a little bit dark there. I don't know if I would have somehow lit up a little bit more. I don't know. Let's see. What do we get? Oh, that's a bit too much. But you know, you see the idea. What does I do? Does that actually make it interesting? Maybe it doesn't, you know. Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the message here. Is it what? Is it the pitch between rain? I don't know. I like to have a title on this one. But yeah, and if you've got a post-production tool, maybe you want to get rid of that bird there, because it looks as much as a bird as it is a dirty sensor. Or even over here as well, you got a little bit of dirt that I would have cleaned that. But you know, I don't know. This doesn't inspire me that much, because the sky is there, but I wish there was more color or something, or a title. That's what I miss. So Susie, please put some comment. I want to know what really drove you to capture this scene. What did you try to express here? And you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you went for f9.5. Okay, maybe you could have done with an f16. 18mm. I suspect that you were probably with a kit lens at that stage. And yeah, I don't know on this one. Next one. Well, guys, even if he hadn't signed this exposure, I knew who that was. This is my friend. This is straight from Colorado. This is Jim Garrison. Guys, if you don't know who Jim Garrison is, go check my video where I actually interviewed Jim Garrison. I was going to say Jim Morrison. No, I'm not that old. Jim Garrison. He's a great guy, and most of all, he's a fantastic photographer, a fantastic nature photographer. And as you can see here, he has a gift to capture wildlife. And he lives not far from the Colorado mountains, and it's mind-blowing, right? It's cute. It really is. And nice job on this. Really nice job. You know, mate. All the exposure that I've seen that you took of those goats, at one stage, they're gonna ask you for some money, mate. They really will ask you for some copyright, because I don't know how many shots you took of them, but man, well, they're fascinating anyway. So, what can we say about this? I quite like it. You know, it really shows life. It's candid. All right, it's looking at us, but it's candid. I think Jim, I remember, he's got a 400mm lens, and all right, that was shot at 135 f8. There's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's depth of field is exactly where it needs to be. It's not too shallow, so you understand where the action took place. and it's not too deep, so you really focus on what's important here, which is the two goats. So no, I totally love it. It's cute. It really is. Really is. And you remember, Jim, we talked about it, putting a smile on the viewer's face, and look at mine. You know, that's cute. I love that, buddy. I love that. And here's another one. This is Jim Garrison again. Really cute. Jim said something about those. He said has been watching those fox recently, and so he named the photo "The Highway of Life" as they are just beginning theirs. Absolutely, you know, man, it's interesting. So, for those of you who might be wondering, well, okay, the subject is tiny. Why so much space? Why so much space above? Why so much space on the right? Why not, dive in? Well, the reason is if you dive in, Jim could. He has a 400mm lens. He could well go straight into it. But he didn't. So why? Well, the reason is if you zoom in, you don't know where they are. And what is more interesting here? The fact that we capturing 3 foxes, or the fact that we're capturing 3 foxes on the side of the road? Well, I'll let you think about this. Next one, we stay with the animals, and this is a new submitter as well. This is Matt Costa, I think. Yes, Matt Costa, who shoots Nikon, and it says this is this first effort at shooting with a little higher aperture. So I'd like to know what's your normal aperture usually? Which one do you use? Clearly here it was a wise choice. It's good, and you remember that reminds me one of PM photography exposure last week or the week before about his dog Biscuits. I can't even remember. I can't believe I remember the name. And there was this exposure where he focused on the nose and then focused on the eyes. And here clearly Matt decided to actually focus on the eyes. However, that being said, what I've noticed is that of course our eyes are really caught by the dog's eyes, but that's because of the feel in. It's the catch in the eye. You see that what we call the catch is that white reflection inside the eye, and in fact you can even see yourself. It looks like a street or a car park or something, and we can see the photographer, in fact, a tiny figure here. The thing is, those eyes are not as sharp as they could be, Matt. I don't know if it's because you zoomed right in the center here. I don't know, but they're great, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm just really picking on you here. It's a great shot, but yeah, keep an eye on this. Watch out where you focus if you have the time to catch it. So yeah, watch out for this. But it's a really nice shot. What I like is that you didn't crop it too much. In fact, maybe slightly, 2 millimeters out, I would have loved, because you kind of cut a little bit on the ear, especially on the right side here. But I quite like it. I like the fact that we see the tag. I like the fact that on the tag there's some pink that kind of match the tone color here. I quite like it. I like the background, and you guys see what we got a shallow depth of field. And not only this, but we've got the background, whatever it was, it's been compacted, compressed right behind the dog's head. And that's because he used a 170mm at 3.2. So 3.2 depth of field and focal length on top of it brings the background closer to the head, behind the head, and that's why you get a nice natural backdrop. So yeah, nice shot on this, nice one. So next one is from Eric Gordon. So Eric actually shot that last Saturday. For those of you who follow us on Pictography, and I hope you guys came went to pictography and really got members there, because it's a cool place to be and to learn and to grow as photographers, whether you're professional, amateur, or you're just starting. Really, it's a great place. So anyway, there was a gathering last Saturday in Glasgow. I was going to say in rainy Glasgow. Is there any other kind of Glasgow than the rainy one? I don't know. Maybe Cameron can answer this. Private joke. So there was a street festival, and well, Gordon, because the street apparently was so amazingly stunning and so interesting, well, Gordon decided to send us a picture of a stock. Is that? No, that's not a stock, that's a heron. Well, it's a nice shot. What can I say, Eric? That's, yeah, I said Gordon, sorry, it's Eric. It's a nice shot. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, there's nothing wrong with what Eric does usually. You know, I like the colors. I like the separation between the background and the bird. So that's what you get when you get a 185. And I think Eric's got a 70 to 200, I think, millimeter lens. That's what I remember. I think, might be wrong. But here, anyway, nice telephoto combined with 6.7 gives you enough depth of field to have a sharp rocks, sharp bird, and then really very quickly you get a blurred background. So I like it. I like it. I wouldn't do anything different. Maybe popping a little bit the yellow just for the eye, you know, maybe popping or the beak a little bit. I don't know, the yellow or the orange. But otherwise, nice shot here. This one is from somebody who called himself Under the Wheel. So it's interesting. I like to see the original. I like to understand the idea behind the message. That kind of reminds me of those dogs in Liverpool, and we have the same as well at Glasgow. I've seen some of them. I like it. I don't know. It's an interesting angle, suffice to say, and it's probably taken with a focal length 18mm, but is that? It might well be a kit lens. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting angle. I don't know. I don't know what the message is. It looks like an old photography, and yeah. Whoever you are under the wheel, if you could explain what the message was behind this. I like it, but I'd like to know a bit more about what it gives you a feeling. I can't put a word onto it. There's something. There's something up there. Somehow I don't know. It has probably nothing to do with that company storage facility here, but I'm just thinking it reminds me somehow of 1920s. 1930s in the US during Prohibition time. You know, it's got this feel into it. I think it's a color brown, dark. It's got something. I don't know. What do you think? I'm already viewing. There's a car in that street, and the car is those round cars. You know, the one that you had in mid-30s. A lot of curves and this kind of thing. So yeah, I like it. So now we're going into portraiture. So here it's another one from Eric Gordon. I told you guys, Eric never does anything wrong. It's always interesting. It's really nice. First of all, what I like is the makeup artist. Great job on this. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I like it. I actually zoomed in early on to try to check whether this was makeup on her face or whether it was Gordon messing around afterwards in post-production. I keep calling you Gordon, sorry, Eric. Whether it was done in post-production. But no, it looks like it's really the makeup, and it's nice. What I like about it, right, is that the more you look at the girl, she looks like the next door neighbor, you know. Forget about the makeup and stuff, but look at the lines, look at the eyes, look at the nose. There's nothing perfect about her face. By perfection, I mean she doesn't look like a top model in terms of the physique itself. But look at what Eric achieved here with a combination of makeup and the proper lighting and the proper angle, the proper exposure factors. And it looks like a stunning shot. It could well be in a magazine. It could well be for a haircut. Could well be for anything. I really like it. Just two things that I'm not quite keen on. Actually, three. Three things I'm not keen on. The first thing is here on the right. Eric, she was probably wearing white, but because we don't see that much and the background is white, it kind of bothers me that it's this white bit here. I was going to say piece. I would have faked it. I would have somehow cloned whatever is, you know, the shoulder and a torso, and I would have just, you know, fake it and cover that white piece here, because it just looked like she's just fake, like she, you know, this kind of a Madame Tussauds thing. It's just a head and half of a torso, and that's all there is to it. So just watch out for this. And I see as well on the other side here, right after your watermark, we can see a white line. I would have done something about it, because this is ridiculous. Clearly, you did some post production on this to make it neat and clean, probably blemishes. But just those two things, yeah. And I know that you can't crop anymore, because then you get too close to the hair, and that would mess it up. So, but just try to clone it. I would have done that. You know, who cares? Nobody would know that you've done it. And then my third point is about post-production again. It's about blemishes. You guys see here, there's a darker area right here, and there's another one right there. And it's okay to leave natural marks like beauty spots here, and there's probably one here unless my skin is dirty. But here, I would have done something for some reason, and actually, it looks like you did. It looks like you did, Eric. Didn't you? Please add your comments. And even here, I can see two dots over there. And I don't know. I would have tried to do something here. I don't know if you try to somehow soften the skin in using Photoshop, and you try to add some sharpness around the angle to increase the angle of her face. So just right here, it's maybe just the pixels messing about here, and other than that, it's fine. Maybe and I had that problem with one of my model. Is watching out for lipstick, guys. Lipstick tends to be a nightmare, because the model you shoot there for quite a long time, and she tends to bite her lips or moving or speaking, and then you end up having, although it looks pretty nice here, maybe, you know, correcting the lipstick right here and maybe over there, and it just, you know, tiny drip in the corner here, but that's being very anal. And maybe there's a white dot right here. I would have cleaned, and maybe, but I'm pushing the limit because I know it's Eric, and it's not a newbie. Yeah, here there's some white bit here, white bit there, and let's watch out, guys. As guys, I know there's probably girls as well watching here, Susie, but you know, I don't know a single woman that actually likes to have facial hair. And here she's got a tiny bit, which might not be much, but because of the makeup, it just increase it, and we can see it kind of goes over a lipstick, so I can see it. So maybe just repairing this with a clone tool, that would be probably good as well. So other than that, I quite like it. I like the eyes, they're sharp. I like everything about this shot, except those tiny bits that I had to say, Eric. All right, I'm looking forward to your comments on this. Moving to this one, this is another from Eric. So that's pretty interesting, guys, because obviously this is a composite, right? It's many exposures put together as layers, maybe in Photoshop, and give some texture to it. So the main one, what he says is that he used the 80 to 200. So that's what I was saying. I knew that he had a. I thought it was a 70 to 200, but no, it's an 80 to 200, 2.8, and so that's for the main shot. That's the head part, and clearly it's nice, because if it's not nice, adding more texture to it, you can repair, but most of the time you realize it actually damages it. It doesn't make it better. Here, I like it. I like it a lot, and the more you look at it, at the overall image, you can see some interesting things. So first of all, you can see the cross here, and what you see in the background is you see this. There are arches, like the doors, the arches above the doors of a church, and I quite like that. I really like that. It gives some texture to it, and then you can see some pillars as well right here on the side. And the whole thing, I quite like it. And you know what it reminds me, Eric? It reminds me, first of all, I don't know, I was thinking of Corona. Why was I thinking about Corona? I don't know. There was some Mexican, Latino, something in it. Maybe it's to do with the tattoos. You know, those Latino tattoos that the Mexican tend to have. Very colorful, this kind of thing. And the fact that you actually mixed some purple and magenta pinkish with some dirt brownish colors and yellow, that's an interesting combination, and that's probably what reminded me of those tattoos. But that could clearly be a Madonna. Okay, Madonna with piercing, I'll give you that. But I quite like it. I think it's a very interesting shot. It could be used again for commercial. I love it. I totally do. And nothing wrong to say about this. It's too creative to add any critics to that. This is another from Eric, I believe. Let me just check. Has Eric sent so many pictures this week again? So this is Eric, yes. That was Eric as well, and that's Eric. Okay, so I was right. Going back. So this is a candid moment, and that's very interesting because Eric says, candid moment while on the set at a film shoot, caught the kid just alone on the window. Nothing set up. Well, that says it all. Nothing set up, and yet it's great. It's a great shot. I love it, and yeah, it looks wet outside watching the rain. Who hasn't done it, right? Who hasn't? And that's I love it. Technically, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's nice exposure. Yeah, no, I like it. It's a nice, very nice shot. Boudoir. Oh, all right. That's another one from Eric. I really like it. I really do. I like the texture on the wall. I like the floor. I like the outfit. You know, I like it. It's glamour. I like the outfit because it's glamour. It's not just purely kinky, thong, and everything is exposed. I quite like it. I like the tattoos. Can we see what is written? No, I can't read what's. It looks like it's Italian. I like everything about it. It's really, really good. Really, really good indeed. And the last one, I must say, it's my favorite of the week, guys. I can't hold it any longer. This is a shot from Matt Costa, and he did a 70 to 200, 2.8. And it's funny because at first I was expecting that this shot was done with maybe a nifty 50 and right in the face of his dad. That's his dad that he captured, and I just it's phenomenal. Somebody asked me a question yesterday because I actually saw that picture on Pictography, and somebody asked me, well, don't you think that it was cropped a little bit too much? Well, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah, cutting limb is wrong. But here, okay, maybe 2 millimeters a little bit more on the right might have been good. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But it doesn't matter. What is the first thing we see when we watch this exposure? It's the eyes. And what I found interesting at this is, first of all, right, I look at the first look I had at it was I look at his mouth and it looks very severe, you know, almost judgmental, a bit, you know. I don't feel comfortable. And then looking more at his eyes, I'm feeling some shyness, some kindness, and it's like, this is who I am, and you seeing through me, you seeing me, and as much as, you know, he's a person of a certain age, with grey beard, and, you know, I feel some tenderness in his eyes. There is something. It's like, you know, this is who I am, and yeah, I'm not hiding anything, and I'm not playing. He's not a player. He really not. He's not, and that's what I like about it. So Matt, your exposure is my favorite one of the week. So really, you know, I'll clap you, mate, because this is brilliant. This is really good, and as I've said as well in my comment on pictography about this particular exposure, this is a fantastic subject for the dragon effect. So yeah, it's Matt, if you're into these things as well, I'd like to see what you can come up with using the dragon effect on your dad's face right there. And yeah, the black and white just is perfect. It just goes with everything. Background blur, everything is perfect. The exposure is perfect. The catch in the eye is perfect. Everything is perfect. And as much as it is perfect, I don't think Matt actually spent a lot of time in post-production. Clearly, he did not bother softening the skin or doing these kind of things, which we don't care here. We really see the person for who the person is, and you know, it's a fantastic shot. So I'm very glad to finish on this bombshell. It's a fantastic shot, and really, Matt, bravo. So this is it, folks. This was week 5. This was 13 interesting exposures, and please add your comments down the video underneath so we can all see what you think of my comment, and maybe add more detail about the story behind your shot, so we can see if I was totally wrong, or if you agree with me, or if anybody has anything to say about each other's picture. Let's communicate. Let's use comments not only to communicate between you guys and myself, but also in between you guys, and really communicate. Say what you think of each other's exposures, because really there are things to say about your exposures. And you see 13 exposures, 33 minutes pretty much. This was an very interesting week. So so obviously week 6 is now open, and I'm looking forward to your next exposures. And until then, this is Tom Migot saying, if you like it, well, capture it, my friend. Capture it.